Hey, one more thing. Watch this. Watch this, immigrants. See how much the Democrats still love you if you told them, you know what, we're going to side with the Republicans. I'm just saying hypothetically. Tell them you want fair wages, you want premium pay, health insurance, everything, and you want to support Republicans. See if they still support you. That's just food for thought.
Dude, come on, bro. Not only have they gotten rich off the backs of cheap labor, they're also importing these people and trying to make them into voters, right? So that these people can do what? It's the same thing that they did in the 60s, where they give you a bunch of free stuff, they give the black community a bunch of free stuff, welfare and all these other things in exchange for what? Your political support, your vote. You see what I'm saying? What do they think these people, what do they think they're going to do with these people? All they're using these people for, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people would agree with this, is a potential voting bloc to keep themselves in power. Period.
Absolutely.
Because once I don't want to start a philosophy class here on the ideas of Marxism.
Go for it.
But Marxism is a people's movement. Just like the Democrats got behind civil rights, the people's movement, they're getting behind Hamas, which is a people's movement. They're getting behind immigrants, which is a people's movement. That is directly related to the idea of Marxism and the proletariat and the bourgeoisie. You see what I'm saying? So they get behind these movements only to put themselves in a position of power to get that group of people to sign on with them and become voters and supporters of that political party. That's what I see this as being. Not only have they gotten rich, but now they want to all of a sudden bring in millions of new voters to keep themselves in power. And it's not as much about immigrants as much as it is about the political power behind it.
And I agree. I like to call it the political pyramid scheme. The people at the top want to stay at the top, but they want to get the little people at the bottom, little crumbs. So for us, of course, we're not on welfare or anything, but you can't butter me on welfare. That don't do nothing for me. You know, free health care and all that stuff. We pay way too much for health insurance. That's a whole nother story. I'm gonna go on a tangent for that. But this goes into why we cannot trust the media and celebrities when it comes to politics. I'm sorry, because for them, many of them, and I'm pretty sure some good ones that really mean well, that's their beliefs, and you have a right to believe what you want. But these are business deals. That's why a lot of these politicians, mostly on the federal level, they pay these politicians, the Oprahs, millions of dollars to them or their companies or, their shell companies to endorse them because they are people that have an audience. They have, they are what are known are mass community. They have access to mass communication. And the rule number one, in the first rule, I don't want to say the rule of politics, but one thing about politicians is you want the people that got mass audiences on your side. I personally don't trust no celebrity when they say vote for this person or that person because I don't truly believe they got my best interests at heart.
A celebrity can't do anything but be ideological. They're voting for an idea. They're not voting for anything in practice because you can't compare the job I'm doing from one day to the next, right, year after year, to the money that celebrities make. There's no comparison there. So how can somebody who's making that type of money truly and honestly sympathize with somebody at a much lower economic level? You're voting for ideas, right? I can't. What hardship has George Clooney gone through, right? How can George Clooney relate to where I came from.
Mhm.
There's no relate. There's no relationships there. So trusting it. So trusting these actors to tell you, in my opinion, Anthony, and on both sides. Now, I will say this: I do think the Republican Party is a bit more genuine than the Democrat Party. I will say that, but on both sides, you got actors on both sides.
Both sides.
So, but these Hollywood actors the Stephen Colbert's and like I said, the George Clooney's. This is where I think you lose me because what about somebody like Joe Rogan, who's got mass communication, who's got the ability to communicate to masses of people, but he doesn't share that same Hollywood celebrity mentality.
Absolutely. When it comes to politics, I do not value Hollywood's opinion at all. They could say vote for, it don't matter who it is. I'm not listening to them. Hollywood, they got a lot of creeps in Hollywood. I don't want to dive into that.
We'll get back on that one.
But we're gonna get to the Hollywood creeps. But a lot of those people in Hollywood, man, I believe they doing some unmoral things.
We know what's going on in Hollywood. We can see that. We can see that with Puffy Combs, right? We can see that with Sean Puffy Combs. What's really going on in Hollywood? Because when some of those pictures start surfacing, who did you see? You see Kim Kardashian. You see all the Kardashian girls there. You see my boy Kanye. So we know what's going on in Hollywood.
The parties is packed.
And packed. You know what I'm saying? And we know what's going on there. So there can be no trust there in my regard. Not today. You can't come to me and tell me that some Hollywood celebrity, some upstanding moral person that I need to listen to. You see what I'm saying? Because it was these same dudes just telling us last year that we need to vote for Kamala Harris. Now some of y'all, I know you want to support her because she, quote unquote, black and da. But if you look at her record as a district attorney, you see what I'm saying? She had a record that was replete with being absolutely tough on black men. So you can't just all of a sudden turn around and put some Hollywood actor over somebody and tell me and to convince me that I need to support that. Let's look at the whole record of this lady, and we'll see she had no love for black men, but now all of a sudden we're supposed to just turn around and support her because she's quote unquote black. No, I can't really get with that though.
And I'm gonna touch on one thing, the black thing, and I'm gonna say this for the midterms in 2026. I'm gonna say it for the 2028 election. I'm saying this a year plus in advance. Any politician that identifies as black, you better have been black all the time.
You bet from day one.
We not playing. You half black, you half this, whatever you are.
You can talk black all of a sudden.
That's what you are. Like I said, I love every human being. I ain't got a racist soul in my body. I don't care if you're white, black, brown, Indian, Asian, Japanese, Chinese, whatever. Just be that. But don't be, oh, I'm with my Chinese friends, I'm Chinese. I'm with my black friends, I'm black
today.
My Italian friends,
I'm with my white homies, so I'm white today. Nah, man.
I'm Italian, or now I'm mixed. My thing, and I'm going to say this, whatever you are, say that's what you are all the time.
Absolutely.
That's all I want to
say. Be genuine, man. Be authentic, man. Be authentic. And that's the problem. And truthfully, is the problem I think Democrats are having on a much broader scale is they just don't seem authentic. And then I think voters are looking at the Democratic Party and they're seeing a party that is clearly putting the welfare of illegal immigrants before the welfare of American citizens. And it doesn't matter what you say and how much you smile and who you go hire, what studio you build to make it look like with these everyday issues, man, the Democrats are losing them.
Yeah, I mean, people see, and everybody's not poor. I mean, and then people just see the insults. What was it? Chuck Schumer just said, voter ID. Poor people and black people won't be able to vote.
Right. I don't need you to speak for me.
let me just say what IDs, and I don't want to go off the topic, but
No,
you know, we know how to get an ID, but we the ones that know how to get a fake ID if we need one.
well,
You know what I'm saying?
okay, but we can also go down to the DMV and do it legally too.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying? I have never been as, I don't want to say prosperous, but I have never been as stable economically, financially as I am today through legal means. Having a legal job, going through school, doing it the right way. And now, you know what I'm saying? So where's the motivation to be illegal? There is none, because that's a lose-lose situation for a person like me, bro. I can't win if I'm cheating and lying and stealing. That's not a winning formula.
No.
Hard work, going to school, doing the things my grandfather taught me how to do, which was wake up and go to work. That's what's helped me get to where I'm at.
We shouldn't even be talking about a non-citizen voting. And every American, especially Black Americans, if you are not an American citizen, you should not be voting, and we should not support or vote for anyone that even entertains the ideal of a non-citizen vote.
And that gets back to your original point. How do you trust this system if they're willing to allow people who are not even citizens, who are even here legally, the opportunity to vote or get a driver's license or become a police officer? Come on, man.
That's another one. You mean a non-citizen in California can be a police officer. So you mean a non-citizen could be a police officer and he got the power to shoot me? Because some of them is racist. The same thing the KKK did. They became judges. They became police officers. They became every position that has some type of control on you. The same thing with this cheap labor. This is the same playbooks coming back from slavery. These people are here to infiltrate us.
The Democrat Party is still the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is still those guys who own plantations, owned slaves, started the black codes, started Jim Crow and segregation, created the Dixiecrat Party. These are the same people, guys. You know what I'm saying? How many people even know, going back to the idea of slavery, that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican? Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not here for any political party. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you what the truth of the facts are, bro. So the Democrat Party is still the same Democrat Party. Let's not, get mixed up with these guys, because they're still the same people. They are about, in my opinion, they're about control. And when Barack Obama goes to a group of black men and tells them that they need to vote for the Democrat Party just because, that you're not worried about me and what's best for me. You're worried about you and what's best for you, and just controlling the way I'm supposed to think and vote and act so that it benefits you. I've grown up out of that. Let me say that.
Yeah, it goes back to that political pyramid that utilize all that free stuff. And it's sad because, and I've said this, I said this a while ago. We understand that, 80-something% of people are natural followers. That's just a stat, and I truly believe these political parties are really taking advantage of a lot of people that's not educated, and it's sad because it's more people that's not educated than what are educated, and I think that's where the problem is, and it's tough, and that's why I'm proud to say I'm independent. And for those that know me, I've been independent my entire life. I've never been a Democrat. I've never been a Republican. I've been independent forever, and the reason why is because neither one of those white-owned parties ever did anything for my black blood and my black family, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, I've just been taught to wake up and go to work. I've just been taught that there's no substitute for hard work, and if you want a reality, you don't wait for the government to give it to you. You go get it get your butt up at 5 o'clock, 4:30, whatever. Get up before the sun comes up.